So I've been asked a few times recently why I still sometimes have a bit of an echo or a reverb going on in my recording studio when I have this big O foam wall shown behind my camera system in my setup videos and my previews I've given on Twitter and things like that. And so I decided to do some tests and figure out whether this foam wall is actually making a difference or if it's taking up half my living room for no reason. And I figured that was something that could be educational to share with you. So if you don't know, back when I was living at my parents', I ended up making an entire curtain using a bed sheet and sound foam squares to try to isolate some of the background noise or ambient noise that I had going on in my bedroom. This was a very silly process. I took one of my parents' old bed sheets that they just had stored in the basement that they weren't ever going to use again, and I used the little 3M Command sticky strips, double-sided sticky strips, to stick the foam to the panel. I did use some super glue in some places, but super glue melts foam, and I don't recommend it. Alternatively, you can actually use spray adhesive. Doesn't melt the foam as much and will stick to it much better. That's commonly used when you're trying to stick it to walls, but I've yet to be in a place where I could stick it to walls that I don't want it to like not be removable from, so I've not done that. So I used sometimes duct tape every once in a while on this part, double-sided sticky strips, and then I've added a couple foam panels via the clamps that I'm using to hold the sheet up on this green screen stand, basically. And my cat is licking my leg. And so I've positioned it directly behind my camera, since that's where I'm talking to absorb a lot of my voice to try to keep it from bouncing around my room. This worked great in my bedroom, but my bedroom was a fairly small room, fully carpeted, had a bed in it, had long curtains in it, a shower curtain for the closet, and this foam wall curtain, and so there was a ton of sound absorption. I moved into this apartment. It was great. I was like, oh, I have this whole living room I can make into a studio office, but it's a much bigger room with a lot less cloth to absorb sound. We don't even have curtains on the window, and since we're probably moving in a couple months, we're just not going to. So I have this huge living room, which is a bigger space. I put up this sound panel, and then I've put sound foam on some of the walls, but not by any means coated it, but I still have a little bit of an echo. So I was like, okay, is the sound foam wall actually doing anything? Here are my tests. I totally took down the green screen stand, pulled the sound curtain off, and recorded before and after to see if it made a difference. And here are the results. This is a test with my wireless lavalier mic on my on-camera studio with the foam wall up. I'm going to be doing a test with my shotgun mic, and then a test with both of them again with the foam wall down. This is a test. Test, 1, 2, 3. This is a test. Test, 1, 2, 3. Sometimes I talk kind of quiet, or well, I guess this isn't really quiet, but quieter like this, and thus the audio may need to be amplified more, but then sometimes I get talking a little loudly about the products I like, and so there might be more of an echo, so I'm going to do kind of tests of both here, so you can hear the difference. This is a microphone test using the shotgun microphone. I don't remember what the levels are set at, but I got them set to where it's comfortable with me talking right into it, and this is still with the foam wall up. This is a test, 1, 2, 3, test, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to talk a little quietly like this if I'm for whatever reason recording a video script, and I don't feel like talking very loudly, but sometimes I feel like talking as loud as I can just to illustrate my point. Test, 1, 2, 3. Now this is a test recording with the shotgun mic with the foam wall completely gone. I can personally hear a bit more of an echo, more than I expected given how much was already present with the foam wall here, which is really disappointing because I just went through the whole process of dismantling it. But we will still do a test recording and see if it actually shows up in video, or in the actual audio recording. Now let's switch over to the lavalier microphone. This is a test recording with the foam wall down with my lavalier microphone. This is a test, 1, 2, 3, test, 1, 2, 3. Talking very loudly and also talking a little bit quieter. Again, I hear more of an echo as I'm now talking out to the entire living room, but there was still an echo when the foam wall was here, so I don't entirely know. Test. boy, it made a difference. I was fairly disappointed in that, as I really liked how the office looked with that whole wall gone, because it frees up the space a little bit more and makes the living room feel a lot bigger, because it is bigger, and because my sound is bouncing around everywhere. So unfortunately, a big space like this is just harder to soundproof, and I don't have the money to invest in a ton of soundproofing foam to put on like the ceiling or some crap, nor can I in this apartment complex. And so it's just something I kind of got to deal with. You can stack up covers, pillows, foam on the carpets, again, curtains, things like that to try to absorb sound, but it's the best I can do for right now, and you got to work with what you got. It's always been recommended, apparently, which I've never even heard until recently, to put sound foam on the ceilings in these kinds of situations, as that helps eliminate a strong point of reverb, but I cannot do that here. So I'm going to be moving in a few months. Hopefully in my new space I can do a lot more soundproofing. If not, if we're only renting a house, I can't do as much as I like, but at some point when we're buying a house, I'm decking out the entire basement as a recording studio, and it'll be pretty cool. But just wanted to share this little experiment with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you found it useful, smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more awesome tech videos. Leave me a comment down below with any thoughts you may have, and I will see you next time.